All right, so we're starting off on our actual event page here, and this is the actual participant view of the event page. So this is not the page that you would edit the competition on. And we're going to be uploading two CSVs here. We have this one that we're starting with, and essentially these header columns can be more or less anything as long as the data columns have what you need. And realistically, the only two that you absolutely need is going to be the entry ID, and this is the ID of the actual participant, and the score itself, right? So this might be for time, it could look like this. It could also be in seconds if you just want to put it in terms of seconds. If it was something like reps, it would just be a number as well, which we'll do an actual rep upload next. And so essentially, we're going to start with uploading this particular document. And what we want to actually do first is make sure that our actual participants are in there. And so if we go to registration, we hit that gear icon, go to registration, we can see we have Riley Estrada, Samantha Faddis. If we open each of these, we can see the entry ID is correct, right? And so if we go ahead and we want to pull up that document again, let me just grab this. Let me see if I can kind of shrink this a little bit. All right, so you can see that we have Riley Estrada here, 5, ID is equal to 5, right? And so it's in there. One person we don't have is Lauren Rentala, right? And so we're going to want to make sure that we add her. If not, it'll still actually add all of the scores on here, but it will error still and just let you know that there was an issue with one of the scores, right? So it'll say that this event, user ID 6 was not found, so that score was never actually added. So let's go ahead and add Lauren. So she's going to have her ID of 6, and the way you would do this is you click the options in the top right, add participant, and we're going to add Lauren Rantala. Click done, and then we actually have to add her ID as well. So the way you add the ID is you expand and you add the ID. So she was ID 7. All right, so now we have all of our participants in here, and you can see that it matches with all of our participants here. And actually, Lauren was ID 6, so let's go ahead, we're gonna update that real quick. So Lauren. All right, so now we have everybody in there correctly, and what we can do now is we can actually upload this CSV file. So we're going to want to close the registration modal, go to the judging modal here, and it doesn't matter what division you're in. If you want, you can actually check the scores in here. We can see we have no scores for the guys. If you want to check the women as well, you can see we have no scores for the women. But it doesn't matter what your division in. If you open up the time workout, this is the one we're going to actually be bulk uploading for. And we're going to click the options and then bulk upload, and it's going to pop open our file system. You're going to select the CSV file, and it's actually going to parse the CSV and make sure that it wants to match up the correct properties with the columns in your CSV. So it basically has these select boxes here, and it includes all of the columns in there. We labeled the IDs as tags, and the score was time. And we have these other optional properties like tiebreak order. This would be essentially the actual placement in the tiebreaker. If there were some sort of ties, if two people have the same scores, the tiebreak order would just be first, second, third. It would actually just be a single number. And you could include that in your columns as well. We didn't have that in our documents. We're going to leave it as none. The notes was called message, right? So we can include that. RX defaults to true if there isn't a column, so we're just going to leave it as none. And rejected defaults to false, obviously, if there isn't a column. So we have no column there either, and we are going to go ahead and upload. It's going to run through all the scores, and it'll grab our latest scores when it is done. So we can see all of the women have been added correctly, and if we were to go to the men as well, we should be able to see that all the times have been added for them as well. So real quick, let's just do the reps as well. We're going to go in here to reps, bulk upload. We're going to include our reps sheet, and this one, the actual columns were a little bit different. It matches them up pretty correctly there, so ID, score, and notes is already in there. Click done, and we have event user 7 not found, so we actually had an additional person in this document that didn't exist, so it did error, but it included all of the scores that were in there, right? And so if I actually grab that sheet, you will see that there was a Lauren Stallwood in there. We didn't have her in the event, so that particular one errored. It let you know that it errored, but all of the ones that were in there were added correctly. So that was essentially what you can expect. And if you have any questions, be sure to reach out.